Good morning and welcome to Open Court. I'm Lisa Bloom. First with me here on set, my very favorite guest, my mom, Gloria Allred. She is a victims' rights and trial attorney, and she wrote the book, Fight Back and Win, a terrific book. I know you'll all forgive me if I start with my mom because she's with me here in studio, and after all, she is my mom. What do you make of the fact that the jury wants to look at what Neil Entwistle was doing on the computer an hour and a half after he says he found the bodies of his wife and baby? Apparently, he goes online and he checks his emails.
Well, it just increases my respect, Lisa, for the jury because they're looking at each and every piece of evidence.
Gloria, I saw in the live shot of the courtroom a moment ago the Matarazzos who were in the gallery and who got up and left. The Matarazzos are Rachel Entwistle's mother and stepfather. Her stepfather, it was her father, essentially. She lost her father at a very young age. He gave her away at the wedding. They were very close. What advice would you have for them as a victims' rights attorney as they sit and wait for the outcome of this case?
Well, waiting is very, very hard, but my advice would be that they should have been there during the trial, that they need to be there during the jury deliberations so that the jury always remembers the victim.
Doesn't even say this is a tragedy. He's been very flippant about his wife's disappearance. Drew Peterson supposedly has told people in the past that he could kill somebody and he could get away with it. And he's a police officer, so he may be a little better at it. It's actually very difficult to transport and dispose of a body without being detected. The question is, where is she? And if she's deceased, where is her body? She's a petite woman, only about 100 pounds. She would, unfortunately, have fit into that blue barrel.
Lisa, you say you think he has the profile of a killer. What do you see and why do you think that?
Well, first of all, his story is preposterous, that she ran off with another man. She didn't take her car. She didn't come back and talk to her kids. She's never called her family. She hasn't used a credit card. She hasn't used a cell phone. I mean, that's just insulting to all of our intelligence.
And I decided I needed to reach around New York to find me a fearless female that I knew could at least stand up to this comment. And please welcome the co-anchor of Court TV's Bloomin' Open Court, Lisa Bloom, to the show. Lisa, thank you so much for being with us.
We have an old expression in the women's movement: a man of quality is not threatened by a woman of equality. And the men who are smart, and sexy and successful and who got it going on, like Montel, want to raise women up, want to empower women. They don't need to squash the women around them to keep them down at their level. Good evening, I'm Lisa Bloom of Court TV, and for Larry King tonight, a word of warning. We're going to be showing you some graphic video of dog fighting, the vicious underground sport that's been dragged above ground by ugly allegations against Michael Vick, one of pro football's highest paid superstars. Well, Michael Vick, if indeed he is good for these crimes as charged against him, help me understand how somebody who's got a $130 million contract, is playing for the NFL, is a starting quarterback, has the world at his feet. Why would he engage in this kind of an activity?
That's the big question.
Lisa Bloom's an anchor and legal analyst for Court TV. Yeah, you've seen her many times, and she covered Mary's case from start to finish. How heavily do you think the shoe and her descriptions of unnatural sex acts, she said he made me have sex with my bottom,
right,
anal sex, 10 women on the jury.
Yeah. And he made her, you know, we didn't get a lot of detail about what that means, that he made her. Did he suggest it? Did he strongly encourage it? Did he threaten her with violence? We really never got to the bottom of it, but there's no question that her demeanor, her soft-spokenness, hanging her head low, her difficulty in even getting the words out, it was very convincing to the jury.
Leslie Ballin, her attorney, says not only does he feel that she should have the children back, but the children need her, and she needs the children. What is your opinion, Lisa, here?
You know, whether justice was done to Mary Winkler or not, I think what we know for sure is a grave injustice was done to these children.
Yeah.
The oldest daughter saw her father dying, bleeding on the floor. The phone was unplugged, so he couldn't call 911. These children were taken by Mary with a shotgun in the car. For 2 days, the phone was unplugged in the hotel room, so they couldn't call 911. They've been in a stable, loving family for a year, Oprah. And this is a woman who has such poor impulse control that she solves her problems with gun violence. I'm not comfortable giving them back to her completely now. I think we could start out with some supervised visitation. Certainly she should have contact with the children, but I don't think she should have complete custody yet.
Two of the grandchildren that she left $5 million to, she left that money with a string attached where they have to visit their father at least once a year in the cemetery.
That's right.
I guess they have to sign a register.
They have to go to the mausoleum and sign in once every calendar year.
So are conditions like that unusual in wills?
That is unusual. But look, this is money that she left in a trust, and the trustee has to check that register once a year to make sure that they signed in, that they visited her only son, who predeceased her in 1982, that he died. She wants the grandchildren to visit his grave. I don't think that part's so bad.
Right, once a year. And just to show how devious Lisa is, in the commercial she was telling me what they should do is go on New Year's Eve, right before midnight, sign it, stay for 2 minutes, sign it again. That's very sick thinking.
Yeah, the other thing I have is the dog single?
Yeah, right, I'm sure. Yeah, all of a sudden you're making phone calls on the dog. Under what conditions can family members contest a will like this?
Well, is there some flaw in the will itself? I've read it. I don't see that. Is she trying to reach from the grave for too many generations? The law will allow it only for one generation. So for the life of these grandchildren, she can control them. She can't do it, for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Right, but a grandchild who's shut out has no recourse.
No, it's her money. She has the right to control it as she sees fit. She cuts out the two grandchildren. Legally, she's certainly entitled to do that.
And I have to say, I do think it's an important footnote, as we've mentioned a couple of times already. Billions and billions of dollars will go to charity.
Yeah, maybe the cat will bring an estate plan.
Oh, come on. Lisa, thanks very much. Good to see you.